We're here with Scott Lambert, who kind of runs the show here at the Twin Cities Auto Show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for being down at our show. We love having you.
What is the show all about?
Well, the auto show is a showcase of the best that the Twin Cities franchise new car dealers have to offer their customers. Winter is always a slow time for the car business, and so the show comes around in the spring, and it kind of springboards the selling season for the dealers. And the customers come down and they kind of come out of hibernation, if you will, and start comparing automobiles and trucks. And the beauty of the show is you can go from brand to brand to brand, all under one roof, look for what you're looking for, compare models. It's a non-selling show, so there's no real pressure.
Yeah, it's almost like going on like a dozen car lots all in one space.
All in one, and that's the idea. That's what we want, except we don't want people to feel pressured to buy anything. Just gather information, do your comparisons, and then go back out to the dealerships, and hopefully everybody comes from the show and starts buying cars.
And this is a great opportunity to get an update on kind of what we're seeing with the vehicle market out there. You know, what did we see during COVID and where are we kind of at after that? Have things kind of gone back to normal, so to speak?
During COVID days when inventories were so tight, we had trouble getting cars on the show floor, actually. We couldn't get the vehicles people wanted to see because they just weren't around anywhere. They weren't on the lots or anywhere. But inventories are back. And in a good way. We don't probably have the 90-day inventories we had pre-COVID, but we're 30 to 45 days of inventory, and that's good enough. In fact, one of the problems we're having is that in some cases the electric vehicle inventory is outpacing the inventory of the gas-powered vehicles because they're a little bit slower moving right now.
I know, like a lot of things, in 2021 and 2022, we saw some higher prices with vehicles. Have prices started to kind of stabilize, and are we not seeing those increases that we did a few years ago?
Yes, prices have stabilized for new cars, and I think prices have kind of scaled back a little bit for used cars. Used cars are made from new cars. We don't have a used car factory. They're made from new, and because there was a shortage of supply for new, prices really got tough on used cars, but that's starting to draw back a little bit.
A lot of people are looking for an affordable car. You know, the days of the car in the teens is kind of over with. There's, just a handful out there. Are there still a lot of cars in that $20,000 to $30,000 range for people who are on a budget?
There are options for individuals who want to get into an entry-level vehicle. And the auto show is great for that because they're around here. You can find, there's probably a dozen vehicles here in the $20,000 range, between 20 and 30. And the show is great because you come down here to look and shop for the vehicle you need, but then you also get to look at the stuff that would be fun to have someday and kind of your dream vehicle. So it's got a little bit of both.
Do you see a lot of people coming here to the show that maybe have been out of touch with the car market the last couple of years because of everything that's going on, and now they're like seeing this as a great way to get reacquainted with some of the makes and models and companies that are out there? Yeah,
well, vehicle sales have been down over the past 3 years, by double digits. So people are definitely re-entering the market. It's been a soft market the past few months, kind of December through the early part of March has been, pretty soft in terms of the dealers being able to move their inventory. So we're kind of waiting. We feel like there's a lot of pent-up demand coming our way.
And we're going to get into this a little bit later in the show, but EV and hybrid is kind of a big talker lately. What are you seeing right now in the EV and hybrid market?
Well, it's interesting right now, and I've been doing this for well over 30 years, but for 100 plus years, the car business has built and sold vehicles that were all about consumer demand, and that's not the case anymore. Now government is telling the car business what vehicles they need to buy, they need to build, and what vehicles they need to sell, and government is impatient for what they want. They want everybody in electric vehicles, and it's not happening fast enough for them. And there's a bit of a collision between consumer interest and the government mandates that are pushing factories to build more and more electric vehicles, but there's just not the customer base there yet. And it's yet to be seen if those two forces are going to match up or if one is going to overwhelm the other.
And it's kind of a classic thing when there's that clash of supply and demand, prices usually go down. So people might see some buys there. They might have to come down and entice those people to buy.
Exactly. They might have to lose money selling some of these vehicles to get people into them, just to get the vehicles off their books.
So there might be a deal out there for people.
There might be a deal. You never know. There's always a deal.